All right. Good evening, everyone. I am calling the meeting of the Rutland Regional Planning Commission Board of Commissioners to order today, Tuesday, July 15th, 7:06 p.m. And
Do some intros?
we could do intros. I think, yeah, second time around. Let's go for it. Start here with Jack, please.
Jack Schneider from Brandon.
Dick Harder, Proctor.
Ray Gilman from Wells. Richard Fairhaven.
Jim Marsh, Rutland Town.
Anne Reed, Pittsburgh. McKay, Castleton.
Eric Burner Wallingford.
Mike Fowler, alternate Timoth.
Judy Gilmore, Timoth. Joyce Stoddard, Davy.
Laura Black, Shrewsbury.
Devin Neary, Executive Director.
Larry Chrisell, Mendon.
Robert Yates, Hubbardton.
And
Would you do the online?
online, we have Demetrio Gagnon from Rutland Town, Barbara Thompson from Sudbury, and Heather Thomas from Wells. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Great.
And welcome to our newest commissioner from the town of Wells.
A new face.
Yeah.
Great to have you.
And you're still on the select board, right?
No, we're not.
You're not on anymore. One board for another. There we go.
Yeah.
Good luck.
That's the way to do it.
Well, thanks for being willing to serve.
Okay, moving on to the agenda today. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as written or any changes needed?
Motion to approve. Larry.
Erica. Second. Larry, first motion, Erica to second. All in favor to approve the agenda as written, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, moving on to approval of the June 17th minutes. They are in your board packet. We've had a chance to take a look at them. Any questions or changes? Or can
I
I?
had one change.
Awesome.
Under Pittsburgh, Donna Wilson was in attendance virtually that meeting.
All right. With that change of Donna Wilson for attendance. Anything else? Any other changes needed, or can I have a motion to approve with that just one change?
I'm probably going to abstain because I didn't.
You may abstain, for sure.
I guess that's, I don't know. I didn't read it.
Makes sense, exactly.
I'll make a motion to approve with the change.
Motion to approve from Commissioner Burker. Is there a second?
I'll second.
I have a visual here. Second with Andrea. You have to speak louder. All right, all in favor to approve the minutes of June 17th? Please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. Moving on. Open to the public. There aren't even any dogs here. Jokes. Keep it alive. All right, moving on to regional plan draft discussion.
All right.
You're on, please.
So that was the point of this meeting. As you guys might remember, we typically do not meet in July. We sort of flagged July and August as potential flex months. If any additional conversation or discussion was warranted around the draft regional plan, which came out at the beginning, late May, early June. So that's really the goal today, is at open roundtable discussion. So this very well could be the shortest meeting of the year, or it could go longer. This is an open forum for that discussion. In addition, I do want to give some quick updates. So why don't we hold the discussion portion for a second? I'll just give the updates. So first update is we completed the third phase of engagement at the end of June. So we had a public survey, we had a bunch of pop-up events, we met with all the towns. We got good feedback from that, which is now informing the final draft, which is being drafted right now by our staff. The goal is to have this draft done and a very, very short review period with our ad hoc regional plan committee for 2 weeks. And then it will go to the layout designer in August. It'll be back before you all unchanged significantly for September, because in September, we're expecting a vote to authorize the staff to submit the draft plan to the Land Use Review Board. So just as a refresher, in the past, before Act 181, only the Regional Planning Commission adopted the regional plan. Now, if there's another level of state review and approval, that is the Land Use Review Board. So we are actually the first plan under the new framework to go before the Land Use Review Board, which is either incredibly positive and beneficial or incredibly bad. We will find out. Either way, we're really looking forward to the feedback that we'll get from the Land Use Review Board, because not only does the Land Use Review Board review our plan and make comments on it for its completeness in achieving the statutory goals, but also they submit the plan to 5 state agencies. They collect the feedback, they sit through it, and then they give us the feedback from the state agencies as well. So after 60 days, starting September 17th, we will get all that feedback from the LURB and all those agencies, and we'll have about a month and a half to address those comments, because our goal is to warn the first public hearing starting December 19th for our first public hearing, January 20th. So a lot of things lined up on the schedule right now. So that's the first and foremost, is sort of looking out ahead. September's the big next milestone for us after this last phase. The other major update.
Okay, just have, who is the land use review board?
Yes, brand new board.
Who is it? Is it a state agency? Is it state
No.
volunteers?
Yeah, so appointed by the governor. They
Okay.
took over for the Act 250 commission.
Okay,
They now are the governing board for all Act 250 in
Okay.
Vermont. It's a 5-panel board made up of lawyers, planners, Act 250 district coordinators from around the state. So they actually have held a couple of their public meetings at our office. And I expect when we submit, we'll probably present some of our high level regional plan stuff to them. Any other questions before I go on to the other major update, which is the future land use map. A lot of you have been involved, so I'll go to our website. The regional plan webpage right here has been updated because we have completed our regional future land use map. And I'm happy to report that we have incorporated every single map revision from all 27 towns that were requested, that were allowable under the land use planning framework under Act 181. So huge effort. We're talking between Stephanie, Logan, and I, we have probably had close to 50 meetings with towns, maybe even more when you count the one-on-ones, to get this map up to its current state. So if you guys go to the regional plan website, rutlandrpc.org/plan 2026, you'll notice the landing page got updated. So a quick thank you for folks who participated in phase 3. And then here is the new draft future land use map. You can either view it as a PDF or as an online map. The PDF is this stark background, and the online map has the ortho. So we'll just open it up quick, and you'll notice it looks quite a bit different because we've incorporated so many changes. And to me, as a planner and director and somebody who's grown up in the region, the new map looks a heck of a lot more like the land use characteristics that are in the region now. So it's all clickable and sizable. We also, once you zoom in, have the building footprints laid out. You can click certain land use areas. Theory. It's a little laggy, so apologies. This is a huge data set. But please take a look. We're following up with all towns tomorrow to sort of let them know that this map is now live and available for public consumption. For the PDF version. It is also high resolution, so you can zoom way in if you'd like. It does take a bit to load, so don't worry if you don't get it right away, just refresh the page. In theory, again.
Now, this one is the one that shows the recreation areas as well.
Yes, yep, that's one of the land use categories, so,
The town of Timoth would like Timoth Pond removed. off
It
of
was.
that. Okay, okay,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah. So we made all the changes that the towns requested,
Okay,
like
thank you.
those type of things, and actually, if we zoom in on Tim, let's use this version.
For those not aware, Timoth Pond is completely surrounded by private property, so it's not really available to the public. That's why we asked for it to be removed.
Yep, so as you can see now, it's a rural general.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. So that's a great example though, Judy, of like the type of revisions and requests that we've seen. The most significant revision of any one town was certainly Killington, which basically the entire town became recreation-based resource area with a village center in between. So please take a look. We certainly are welcoming comments and feedback or further discussions. However, we've been corresponding one-on-one with every town select board, and you know this well, a lot of you know this well. And we think we've gotten it right, and have had good feedback and engagement processing so far. So please know that we will be reaching out direct. Here's that PDF version directly to all of your towns with a individual email, sort of letting them know that the draft is uploaded and complete. So that's where we're at. This is a huge undertaking. We're the first region in the state of Vermont to complete this map. And it's because of how much effort was put in by Stephanie and Logan and myself. So big kudos to them. Any questions on the future land use
So
map?
can you zoom in any section of that you want?
Yes, yep.
Let's say like Timoth, Lake Lucidian, I mean, it's all private property all the way around it, so there's no public access to it.
Which lake is that?
That Lake Lucidian, it's right across the street from North Street, right by the little lake. Man-made, might be called fundy, type of money put it in.
Oh, this one right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like the only resource-based rec areas are the ones associated with
Right.
Lake St. Catherine.
Yeah.
So, yep. So yeah, please peruse it. It's pretty fun to play around with the online map itself, especially with the building footprints and the ortho background.
I have a question. So I'm looking at it and I see the, all the different designations, the different colors, but then there's like the very dark pinkish purple doesn't seem to match up with anything exactly.
This one right here,
That's village.
that's downtown.
Oh, no, I was looking at Castleton.
Okay.
I wasn't looking at your town.
So Castleton,
Yeah, like how come there's no, for this darker, whatever color you're calling that? pink
that's
or
plain
whatever.
growth area or village area, sorry.
Why is there there's nothing in the, on the right, oh, yeah, what,
Village center right here.
the color is very light.
Yeah, with the transparency and the ortho background, if you're ever like, is this the color? If you look at the PDF version, it's much more clear which color is which. That's just sort of one of the unfortunate,
Now, why is Castle, I see I'm a little behind because I was away for a while, so. Why do we have village center all throughout our Route 4 when that's not really our village center?
because that's what the town had requested and
That's what they
you,
want?
and you qualified. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. They wanted to take, so again, Liz, we won't jump in all the details. I could, happy to chat with you after, but basically this would allow the greatest benefit for Act 250 for the
Yeah.
town by growing their village center as far as they could. Because you guys have sewer and water and all the necessary components, so. So back to, so happy to chat any about this. Obviously, you're just seeing it, so please take a look. Know that your towns basically have proposed the changes that are visualized. In terms of the plan narrative itself and the draft, this is an opportunity for us to have any continued conversations, especially if you felt like you didn't get your feedback in for the survey or any other way, email, one-on-one conversations, anything like that. We have received quite a bit of feedback, and a few big chapters have changed by adding more data and more elements, but in substance, they haven't changed. Really, it's economic development, working lands, natural resources, have probably seen, and a little bit of changes to energy. But ultimately, it's more adding more data, filling out the story, not changing the direction of the plan. The other element is we're updating our policies as well to be a little bit more clear. While trying to not have that restrictive tone, but supportive of development tone. Any thoughts, feelings?
So the land use map will get updated more frequently than every 8 years.
TV, we don't know. There's a lot of discussion now with the land use review board about how we're going to reflect potential changes if a town adds like zoning and is now qualified for a planned growth area or a village area, or a town opts in or out to 1B, which isn't visualized on the map, but is directly connected to the map. So we don't know. I imagine this new 8-year plan will be more of a living plan than the last one. However, if we have to go through a 6-month, very intensive adoption process, I don't think there will be a ton of motivation to update this annually, let's say. That being said, though, one new component of this regional plan is an annual report card where we're going to be tracking specific indicators of progress year over year to try to determine, did this plan help meet the goal and to what extent, and why or why did it not? So more to come on the future land use mapping side as to like, how often is that going to change, and what constitutes a change, and what constitutes a full readoption versus like, is there going to be a new minor amendment structure? We don't know quite yet. More reason to get it right now, right? But yeah, I see what you mean. You know, there's changing dynamics in every town.
Well, developers will be looking at this map, right?
Yes, that is the hope. That is the hope, is that this will be a way for developers to see the entire state of Vermont and have predictable permitting or lack of permitting for their development.
I can tell you from our experience in Pittsburgh, Logan has the patience of a saint. Between the select board and the planning commission, that boy had more patience than I do. He did really, really well answering all of the nitpicky questions.
Yeah, well, we like the nitpicky questions, and yours especially. I think you really got us to think about things in your town a little bit differently, and
It was,
I think we struck a perfect tone with
I'm gonna look
Pittsburgh.
at it tonight because we have a select board meeting tomorrow night, and I'm sure it's gonna come up because they've asked me if I've seen any changes yet. So,
Yeah. So yeah, we'll make sure you get that email to point to ahead of time, but you have the map now, and you'll notice how much your village area grew.
Yep.
I think we were able to capture everything that you guys requested.
That's great. That's
Maybe
really good.
other than, they might not be stoked about Depot Hill, but it really couldn't qualify.
No, and we understand that,
Yeah.
and actually, that's mostly floodland anyway,
Exactly.
so nothing's gonna be built.
Mhm. Yeah, it won't be a developer dream by
No.
any means, yeah.
So, but we were just concerned, and Logan has spent a lot of time educating
Mhm.
and doing a really good job of it. So
Yeah.
we can forward emails without having to like regurgitate everything. It's been great.
Yeah, well, we're happy to do it, and Pittsburgh wasn't alone. We had a lot of back and forth with many towns that are a little bit more nuanced, so. Great.
Very good.
Yeah.
More questions? We can move on.
I'd like to ask one question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna ask about it.
Mhm.
I I wasn't, I apologize, I wasn't prepared to come tonight. I thought a regular guy was gonna be here, but, the windmill situation has not changed at all.
Yeah, industrial and commercial wind are not allowable in the region, just like in the current regional plan.
I just think that's short-sighted,
And,
very short-sighted.
So, I think the primary reason behind that so far in the commission between last plan and this plan has been the preservation of ridge lines in the region, as that is the only opportunity. And then sort of, seeing how it played out in Castleton a few years ago.
I
So,
remember.
yeah. So I think if that is the case, because two technologies we're saying basically no to, and that is biomass due to the health and air impacts, and wind due to the regional landscape impacts, that means the other technologies will have to carry the load. That being said, if the 20 megawatt solar farm in Fairhaven does get built, we will have met our renewable energy goal for 2050 already. So that will take the pressure off from us having to say yes to additional renewable energy sources if they don't fit within the town.
Just out of curiosity, what does the windmill at Odette's farm on going to, what is that considered?
I think that is under the threshold,
It's,
but I can't say for certain because there's actually a windmill proposed in Rutland Town over by Creek Road, Quarter Line Road area that is below, it's a megawatt threshold that is like,
not right. That's,
nope, it's not height. This is a megawatt. Yeah. So this one was below that threshold. I think it's like similar to that one in, it might be smaller than, I think this one's like 100 feet. So I think that would be smaller than the one in Blue Spruce Farm you're talking about.
Yeah.
So far, I'd say in terms of wind, it's been pretty much a consensus with the regional commission. Would you say that's accurate of a wind prohibition for industrial and commercial so far in this process?
Yes, I think so. I'm struggling to remember if it came up as a discussion during the during the.
Multiple times,
Yes.
yeah.
Right.
So you're saying we should support it?
I think we should at least consider it and maybe there's some wording to make it a little more palatable. And obviously, it doesn't have to be on ridge lines all the time, and that's why I'm thinking. For instance, that windmill in Addison or wherever that is, North Way. And if you ever go into Boston, the one that's right in the middle of town in Boston, you can see it from the bridge. It doesn't seem to be too obtrusive, and it doesn't seem to be. And frankly, they're a lot prettier than solar fields.
Yeah.
Artistically speaking, but
Yeah.
that's not a problem here. But I apologize that I didn't have anything more concrete.
That's okay. I think
I
that's,
wasn't expecting.
we'll make a note of it, and I'll even talk to Addison about what is this size megawatt of that. I'm guessing that is probably commercial, that size.
I would guess, yeah.
But there are residential scale that is allowable now, which can be pretty good size.
Hey, Devin, this is actually an energy question. And I know that we're at the end of, basically the plan, but, and this is more a question to you, like, does the state of Vermont have any language for, nuclear? I mean, because, in 8 years, we could conceivably, if we started yesterday, we could have been close to having, a nuclear, plant up and running in a very short amount of time. And I'm just wondering, you're talking about, the short-sightedness of, and we were only looking 8 years away, but, is the state of Vermont, like, is there room for, that energy source? Because that is going to become, the next big wave of, energy production in the country.
Yeah, I think the biggest, so yes and no, I think economically it's been infeasible, right? There's only been one new nuclear facility in the country in the last decade
Well,
in
in this
Georgia.
country, but there is, I mean,
Exactly,
technology worldwide, I mean, we are changing so quickly that, that is going to, I mean, that eliminates so many potential ridge lines or fields with solar panels, something, I mean, it is.
Especially
something
new
that-
nuclear that could
Yes.
potentially live off of spent fuel rods. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there is, I mean, it's very exciting and we seem to be stuck in,
old school renewables.
I don't even like to say that word because it isn't there is no such thing as renewable energy. But, that is going to be the technology of the future. And, I would love to see the state of Vermont, beginning to get ahead of, let's talk about nuclear, let's have it on the table because,
New York was talking about a nuclear place up in northern New York, I believe.
Let me look into that because I don't know, to be
I
honest
mean,
with you.
we're,
Yeah.
The other thing that's popular or is getting popular now, small, very small nuclear.
But I mean,
do,
France has a wonderful, like they have small nuclear power plants. Like
Community scale. Yeah.
they are an exporter of energy to Europe. It's
Yeah, let me look into that.
I wanted, you can help me, Devin, but, what is the timeline of this regional plan? How long?
26 to 34.
To 34. So
So
this
conceivably,
plan
yeah.
is good for
8 years.
8 years. And I think these discussions are perfect for
within that 8 years.
talking about the future.
But we need to start talking
Plan?
about it, now.
Ex-
I mean,
Exactly.
because it's kind of like the plan is made for kind of the last 8 years.
Mhm.
And I mean, like every plan is made for what has happened in the past.
Right.
And looking forward, it's kind of like we should be thinking about, the 8 years, it's gonna cover this 8 years, but we should start thinking about, energy costs for the region in the next 10 to 15 to 20 years. And
Especially for the thermal and electric
yeah,
sectors.
I mean, I think we, as a region, as a broad community, we really need to be looking at,
Innovative solutions.
because it's out there, it's happening very quickly.
When you take a solar field, a good sized solar field, how much land that takes up, it really could have been used for farming or other things.
Yeah.
They're not good to look at.
But it was a solution at the time,
Yeah.
and that's, it was a solution at the time, but, progress marches on.
Thanks.
But I have a question of order. If what you're saying, and we have an approved plan, say in 2026 and in 2030 or 2030, it looks like we can do a nuclear community. The plan can be amended,
Absolutely.
The plan can be.
Yeah.
amended, Right.
We're not.
Yeah, if there was
it's
like,
not set in stone.
We are doing
Good point,
it that
Erica.
in our town, leave in our town, that would that be meant.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly.
people change them all the time, but yeah, I think those are excellent points on both sides, and I'll do a little bit of research for both.
At 2:00 in the morning when the babies keep you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's when I did all my policy review this week, so yeah. Baby in one hand, computer in the other.
And I would think that we would see what actually is happening in the industry if developers are bringing those and requesting permits, and we're seeing those here in the regional committees
Mhm.
review. That's really when we need, your guys' input to take a look at those.
I think the state legislature would be key in predicting that for us.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other things will have to go through them. We're not gonna set policy in that round.
No, but we can suggest policy.
We can cheerlead policy and push it in the right direction.
Yeah.
And which is kind of what the job is.
Great stuff.
Great discussion.
Any
More?
any other chapter? Good. Cool. Well, I look forward to getting you guys an updated draft at the end of August and getting this on to the next phase of its long, long life.
Thank you, Devin. Are we ready to move on? So next on the agenda is Executive Finance Committee report.
Yeah, so the Executive Finance Committee met Monday, July 7th. Very, very light agenda. Really, the only item really of note was a bit of a discussion about the year ahead, you know, housekeeping items about like when are we gonna meet, and also higher level strategic discussions around keeping some parking lot items on the agenda, such as helping to develop the sort of scope of the strategic planning effort that we want to undertake this year with a consultant, and creating a 5-year strategy and plan for the organization. So that's really was probably the biggest topic of discussion. But with that, we had sort of noted July and August as potential meeting dates. Hearing the sort of lighter discussion, we can cancel August. You guys get finally that month off, yay. And plan to be back in September, rip roaring, ready to go on that regional plan authorization. So that was it. Pretty light meeting, no action taken.
Yep.
And then Chair Berner's got our regional committee report.
Regional committee report, we met on two proposed activities. The first one was an application involving the construction of a 15,000 square foot distillery building at Killington, which also would have a 200-seat restaurant. We discussed pretty much the traffic issues because it is on Route 4 and 100. There is a potential for a hotel which will have 60 rooms, but it's not part of this plan. The recommendation of the board was that it has no significant impact, and it is in conformance with the current Rutland Regional Plan. But we will note within the letter traffic concerns because of where it's going to be located for 100.
Where is the driveway?
Right next to the green prior driveway.
Pretty close, but they did a traffic study, and the traffic study says it looks like it's gonna be okay, but we still voice traffic concerns. Especially considering the fact that Killington is,
Two high crash locations on either side of the property.
And
I know.
when you go
Yeah.
east, then it goes down to just a 2-lane road.
exactly,
Yeah.
So
So
does Killington, do they have a police force or is it just?
they have a town paid
Maybe all
police staff.
constables?
Yep,
But-
they have
They have
a
an actual police force.
They do.
Yeah.
Killington, we did ask, and it appeared that Killington was in favor of this, so. And we recommended a letter, so we need a motion from the board to accept our recommendation. That's correct.
Thank you. Is there a motion to,
Or we could do them as a suite.
Yeah.
We want to do all of them.
We could do all of them if you wish.
go ahead.
Okay.
Good. I'll just read the others.
All right, the other one is a application seeking approval for the demolition of 350,000 square feet of the former mall, as we all know, at Diamond Run, except the Kmart storefront. The applicant also seeks to incorporate stormwater permit 3360-9050 to bring the site into compliance with state of Vermont 3-acre stormwater regulations. Basically, they want to demolish the mall to keep the Kmart side and also the Spartan Arena. Some existing pavement will stay. The rest will be pulled up and it will be returned to natural lands. There will still be about 210,000 square feet of impervious surface, but it's better than what they have. The recommendation from the committee was that there is no significant impact. It is in conformance with the plan, and tearing up any pavement would be really nice. So if I could have and we would recommend go ahead and write the letter. So I need a motion.
We're gonna batch it with
We're gonna do all three. Why don't we
Yep.
just do the two and then the
Yep.
third? Okay,
we can do that.
okay. Or I can do all three, it's up to you. All three, okay.
Yeah.
The third and last was the section 248, which is a 60-day advance notice of the submission of an industrial power and wireless. Power to request a certification of public good authorizing the installation of a wireless telecommunications equipment at 440 Route 140 in Timoth. And we spoke to the rep from Timoth, and the town of Timoth is not in favor of this.
It doesn't meet our town plan or zoning.
So the recommendation that we would like to submit to the full committee is a letter of support of the town's position rather than of the planners. So basically, we support what Timoth is saying. They don't want it, we should support it.
I do have a comment with that, is that we're getting the cell tower up on North Street in Wells. And I wasn't on the board at the time, so I don't know if that went into it, but most of the neighbors up there knew absolutely nothing about that, cell tower going up. Many people were upset about it, but it was never, nobody ever saw any public meeting or to go to, they may have had one, but no visit, so, and also that doesn't fit our town plan either. And looking at another one up on the other bridge, we're looking for a cell tower, and even to our plan, it doesn't meet it.
Well, they had a good turnout out in Timoth though.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Francis, in that, in our updated regional plan, one of the section 248A, which is telecommunications, or section 248 criteria, is requiring an applicant to hold a public hearing in the community with, we're calling meaningful public engagement. So not just fly by night, but actually warning and contacting abutting landowners. So hopefully that type of issue will be eliminated with the new regional plan, because that is an issue.
Right, there was a lot of upset people in town.
It was too late. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm really against it, but it's just, it'd be nice if it was more communicated.
So those are the three recommendations, if you'd like them.
All right, I'm not sure I have the first one right. The first one is the letter to approve with the
Yes.
question about traffic
Correct.
for the restaurant or something or other.
It's still great.
Of a Route 4.
Distillery restaurant.
Distillery restaurant. The second is a recommendation to approve, letter of recommendation to approve concerning the Diamond Run Mall renovations. And the third is a letter of support of the town in regards to the industrial wireless tower in Timoth off of Route 140, because it does not meet town plan. Okay, is there a motion
Make
to go
motion we
forward with
approve all
all
three?
of those? Yep, approve the letters.
The letters, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a,
support or not support, so thank you, Francis. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Yep, Dick.
Dick.
Yeah.
Names. All right, all in favor to approve the letters of support of either the projects or the town? Please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
All right. Taking business cared for.
Mhm.
Thank you. We have no other items on our agenda except for an adjourn. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will.
Erica's done with it, ready to go home. Thank you, Erica. Is there a second? Thanks, Ann. Second. All in favor to adjourn. Aye. Great to see you all. Good
Thank you all so
discussion.
much. Good to see you folks online.
And we'll see you in September. Was that on our meeting next?
September 16th.
16.
September 16th. I'm gonna have to zoom in.
Executive.
No, executive finance won't be until September
I
8th.
said I'll have to zoom in on that.
You'll be there.
I'll
Be there.
get that.
Oh, I can find out.